If I could ask you to please, those who are here, if I could get your attention. We only have 86 right now on checked in as registered voters. So we're going to wait about 10 or 15 more minutes. And during that time, it's my pleasure to introduce Congressman Stephen Lynch, who represents our district, who's done a lot of great things for our town of Abington, which we appreciate. And as Congressman Lynch has done on a routine occasion with our town meetings, he makes the trip down here to Abington to speak directly to you, the voters. So, ladies and gentlemen, please welcome Congressman Stephen Lynch.
Thank you, my friend. Thank you, Sean. Thank you, Mr. Moderator. I'm usually in D.C. on Monday nights, but because of the holiday, they let us go. But I do have just a few updates on what's going on in Washington, D.C., and I'll be brief. I know there are some important items on the warrant, so I won't abuse the courtesy that has been extended to me. First of all, I'm pleased to report when all the receipts are in that Abington in this last session would have received about $5.24 million in federal funding from various sources. One was from the CARES Act. That was because of the loss of revenue that the town incurred. During COVID, the government was asking people to reduce activity, and so that ended up hurting the economy. And so the CARES Act was meant to provide the tax revenue that the town would have received but for the event of the pandemic. So that was allocated. Also under the American Rescue Plan Act, which was also community-directed priority funding, the town received 2 grants, a little bit over $700,000, and I understand that the town fathers and mothers have directed those 2 grants to pay for insurance premiums in 2025, which the town would otherwise have to pay out of its own resources, and also I believe there's an electric truck that electric trucks are very expensive, but the grant will go to pay for that as well. In addition, over $500,000 in federal funding under ARPA was also allocated and directed by the town to make improvements at the PFAS water treatment facility. A lot of the towns in my district, I have 18 towns in 3 cities, are having problems with these forever chemicals, PFAS, and so this system of ionic purification supposedly, and not supposedly, in effect, is cleaning up the water problems that a lot of the towns have had. I understand that the town of Rockland, which is not in my district, is in Mr. Keating's district, has also agreed to pay in an equal amount from ARPA funding that they received to meet the obligations of that filtration system to ensure that there'll be clean water and safe drinking water provided. In addition, about $300,000 of federal funding was used for the HVAC, heating, ventilation, air conditioning, at the town library, which will help improve airflow and quality in the building. And about $400,000 was used for the repair, construction, and resurfacing roads around town, various streets. Those upgrades will help improve transportation, obviously, and also in compliance with stormwater management. So the ARPA money that they received next month, which is around $700,000, not in yet, but would go towards the electric vehicle and the town premiums on insurance. So, and all of that was in addition to the $1 million of federal funding that was congressionally directed to restore and improve the Memorial Bridge at Island Grove. So I'm also grateful to have such great state partners. So both Senator Keenan and also Representative Allison Sullivan Almeida have worked with us, town manager Scott Lambiase, and also the Board of Selectmen as well have been very important, because these the funding is actually decided upon by the town. That's one thing that we've reversed from in the past. Before, we would just send money to the governor, and the governor would try to figure out what the priorities were. This way, the funding request comes directly from the town. And I understand there's some interest in a fire station. I just had an opportunity to talk to several town officials about that. So we'll try to get that in the pipeline for the next round of federal funding. As you know, we had an election a couple of weeks ago, so we have a new administration coming in. I'm not sure what their policies will be on that, but I am happy to say that on this local priority funding, Republicans and Democrats both supported that. So it leaves me hopeful that practice will continue. A couple of things I also want to report. Last week, Congress passed legislation to repeal the windfall elimination program and the government pension offset programs. Absolutely. We're not known for our speed in Congress, and I know there's a lot of people who have been waiting for this for a long, long time. But that windfall elimination program and the government pension offset unfairly penalized workers who paid in for many years into Social Security, but they had participated as employees in a non-contributory program apart from that. And so this penalty went against workers who had otherwise contributed to the system. So it was totally unfair. Finally, and I'm happy to say it, the bill actually got over 320 votes, which is impossible in Congress these days. But now it has moved to the Senate, and I think that the fact that 320 members of the House supported this bill improves its chances of success in the Senate. So, and lastly, just last week, the House passed the Senator Elizabeth Dole 21st Century Veterans Health Care and Benefits Improvement Act. So there are a lot of families in our district who actually care for veterans at home. And so those families basically subsidized veterans' care and got no support from the VA or from the government. This Benefits Act, named after Senator Elizabeth Dole, would change that and allow families to receive reimbursement for the costs of caring for that veteran at home. Before there was a cap, but now families would be eligible to receive 100% of the reimbursement rate that would have been received by the VA for the care of that veteran. So it's a big improvement. It addresses a lot of the needs of families who are caring for veterans. You know, many Vietnam, World War II veterans, especially getting older and being cared for through the love and devotion and great care of their families. In many cases, their grandchildren. This will allow those families not to have to carry that burden on their own. Lastly, I want to wish the Green Wave the best of luck on Thanksgiving, and also want to wish your families as well a healthy, a safe, and a happy Thanksgiving. Thank you very much.
Thank you, Congressman Lynch. We do greatly appreciate your efforts to come and speak locally to the people who you actually, do so much work and help. So we appreciate your efforts. At this point, it is now the time being 6:52. Most updated count I had was 92, 93. Ooh. According to the town bylaws, we are still required to have 150 registered voters present before the town meeting can open and take any votes. So unfortunately, I do appreciate everyone who has made the effort to be here. I want to thank the Finance Committee members, all who are volunteers, of course, the members of our Board of Selectmen and our financial officers, of course, our town clerk's office, because it does take a lot of work to get ready for a town meeting, so I appreciate the time and effort you put in. We will not be continuing this to another night, because if we can't get 2/3 of the people to be here tonight, it's going to be very difficult. So these items on the agenda, on the warrant, will likely be pushed forward and carried on the warrant in the Springtown meeting. That date and time has not yet been set by the selectmen. So unless there's anything else that needs to be said, as moderator, I would declare that the quorum being insufficient at only 93, we will adjourn tonight's session and take no action. And we would like to wish all of you a very happy, safe, and healthy Thanksgiving. Thank you very much.